Yeah, take a seat over there. Where are you from?
Scotland.
Where?
Scotland.
Scotland, oh dear. Sounds a surprise. I'll speak to security now. I'm only joking. Take a seat over there. And here's our 8th whiskey taster then. Ah, we have it. Super. Sorry, Lisa. Okay, what I need is your first name and your last name and pass it on, okay? Pour some in the glass.
No, quite new everything.
Oh no, everything is nice.
With sunshines.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely place. Where are you from? Switzerland. And yourself?
Illinois. USA.
Very good. I know where you're from yourself. Where in Illinois?
Chicago.
Oh, Elk Grove.
Well, actually, I live in Elk Grove, but I'm originally from Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
I'm east
There are so
of
many different dialects. It's different to
Okay.
Small world.
Arlington Heights.
Okay, yeah, I live right by like the junior high.
Oh, okay. Talk about
Small world.
Now, where are you actually from?
Geneva.
Welsh. Pardon?
Like Geneva
Okay, we're just waiting for the last few names, folks. Before we start, there's a few rules. This is not a competition. It may look like one, but it's not. It's not a blindfolding test. We're not going to ask you to guess what you're drinking. All the whiskies are in their correct places, and they have a drop of water in them to bring out the flavour. So we're simply going to compare our Jameson whiskey with a Scotch whiskey. And I've just been informed we have a Scotsman on board. And a Lady American whiskey, at least on time. At least I know it. A Lady American whiskey. Any guesses what the American whiskey is, folks? Americans. Jack Daniels is correct. So take a sip of water to cleanse the palate. Sláinte, everybody. But yeah, bit of water. Sláinte. Thanks, guys. Take your green mats off. Now, folks, I want you to do is I want you to take here a delicate sip of the whiskey in the middle of the mat. Don't knock it back at once. A delicate sip, okay? Smell the whiskey, take a sip. This is our Jameson whiskey that you have here in the audience. It's our flagship whiskey, most popular Irish whiskey in the world, and it's the fastest growing brand. The first thing you'll notice is nice and smooth due to its triple distillation. Vanilla flavours coming from the bourbon barrels, a honey flavour from the sherry barrels. One thing that I'd say is quite new for a lot of you is the fact that it's so versatile. These days we mix it with cranberry juice, ginger ale, very often is used as a mix in a cocktail. Very delicious in an Irish coffee, so there's lots of ways of having it these days. Okay, let's go to the second round, folks. A drop of water in between to cleanse the palate. And I want you to take your Jameson whiskey in your right hand like that. That's it, the Scotch whiskey on the left-hand side of the left hand at the same time. We have a very special way of sampling Scotch whiskey in Ireland. Simply throw it over your left hand. I did ask a Scotsman the other day, what do you do with our Irish whiskey when you do the whiskey tasting in Scotland? And we just don't drink it. And that was a great answer. Okay, we're only joking now. So take a sip of the Scotch, folks. This is Johnny Walker Black Label, 12 years old. It's a premium Scotch. It's a decent Scotch. A lot more smoky, a lot more peaty. It's a blend of different whiskies coming from different distilleries in Scotland, whereas ours comes from one single distillery. It's been distilled twice, whereas we triple distill our Jameson. On a serious note, you know, we're not running down on the whiskies. At the end of the day, it's very much down to the individual taste. A lot of people like a peaty whiskey, they come in here looking for a peaty whiskey. We don't do it, so it is very much down to the individual. Okay, folks, final round, okay? A sip of water in between. Now, the good old American whiskey, Jack Daniels, which I believe brings back fabulous college memories for the Americans. That's what they tell me anyway. Yes. So, Jack Daniels, not a bourbon, it's from Tennessee. You want to take a sip of it there? It's a lot sweeter because it's made with corn. Okay? And it has that perfumy flavour because it's matured in fresh barrels, whereas we use the seasoned barrels. It's actually common practice in America to use new barrels, and it all goes back to saving the cooperage industry. In order to keep the coopers employed and keep them in a job, they'd always bring them in, reintroduce the barrels. And then finally, it's been distilled the one single time. Okay, folks, you've done very well. We've come to the end of this really tough going exercise. The biggest question, the biggest decision they have to make of the day is, of course, what's your favourite whiskey out of the three. As you make this life-changing decision, please bear in mind you're in the heart of the old Jameson distillery in Dublin, so just don't forget that, keep that in mind, okay? And we have a professional photographer here. Thomas, where's Thomas sitting? What's your favourite whiskey, Thomas?
Of these three, I'd say Jameson.
Thank you very much. And I'm very happy with Thomas because you've been to a good few distilleries in Ireland, where it looks like it anyway. And Scott, he has a Kilbeggan cap on. He's after telling me he's been to Bushmills, so I'm delighted as a Jameson. He's got a Jameson cap now. And Scott, Scott, what's it going to be?
Jameson's.
Jameson, two correct answers. Benoit?
Tyrrell.
Oh, sorry. Tyrrell.
Okay.
I'm such an idiot.
We
Tyrrell,
are
okay.
in Jameson's place, so I will say Jameson.
Jameson, thank you. And Sarah.
Jameson.
And we have Laura.
I was at the Milton 2 months ago.
Oh, well, today, Jameson, between the three of them.
Jameson.
Jameson, thank you, good girl. And Malcolm, oh God, from Scotland. Okay, we excuse Malcolm. He's actually the only person who's allowed. Otherwise, you get to clean the wash baths. We don't get the answer correct. But Malcolm, you will not be cleaning the wash baths because you go for the Scotch or the orange.
Probably a longer answer than we want. I mean, of these three, the Jameson is by far the
Jameson.
nicest, but it's not a fair comparison.
Well, actually, I knew you were going to say that. And I was going to say something at the beginning of this tasting, but in fact it is. Because we are comparing with the premium Scotch. No, honestly, I knew this was going to come up.
As you rightly said, this is a blend of several whiskies. This is a single malt.
It's not a single malt. Our Jameson whiskey, I want to clarify, I was actually going to say this at the beginning. We are not a single malt whiskey. Our whiskey is made up of malted and unmalted barley. A single malt has to come from the Munsingh distillery. So we are comparing a blend, a regular blend with a premium Scotch. So it's a very fair comparison, but don't worry, I have this right.
I'm sure you do.
Malcolm, so what's going to be out of the three? Jameson.
Of these three, the Jameson.
And Charlene, what's going to be? Jameson and Annette. Yeah. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 correct answers. I'm only joking, folks, of course, if you want to go for the others, but, they all have their own charm. But a round of applause for our whiskey tasters. So you all know our whiskey is a single distillery blend. Some people do, a lot of people think it's a single malt. Okay, folks, I'm just going to get you a little surprise. Okay, don't go anywhere. Chili, is it chili? Tea, Ashley.
Yeah, this one. Well, this one. It's so small.
I never drink black label.
Tastes better on steak.
It's too smoky.
See, I like Jameson. No, Jack.
If you want a comparison,
I've had too many bad
get yourself a
experiences.
15-year-old George and J.G. Smith's Glenlivet.
I didn't like this
Yeah,
guy.
I don't like the
There's many really
You did. A video.
I am one of those. You know, hold
Hey, Barry.
Oh, yeah. I can run
I have mine.
that's Johnny
Which one was the Scotch? Johnny Walker.
Oh, but you actually go to the different.
Did you like it?
Not that you do.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I
Oh, yeah, it's good.
yeah.
Yeah, my sister also did she learned how to we share. We share space. That way we work. They're just going to vacation. Yeah, they're going to different tour groups.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. My husband.
Excellent. Okay. Whichever else you want.